Matt Powell, an online preacher, science denier, and professional liar, released a propaganda video in which he claims to have won 4 debates, and makes that judgment based on dramatic music, out of context snippets of his opponents, and of course, declaring himself the victor. In this video, I will address some of the brilliant responses he got from his community.
4 slam dunks.
Right, because you don't need solid arguments for that, just dramatic music. Slam fucking dunk.
So all Matt is speaking is truth, but they still call him names.
No, it's dishonest propaganda and Matt thrives on lying. And you shouldn't believe what he says just because he's confident.
Ha ha. I often wonder why the thumbs up counter stays put when you tap it.
It's because it developed a sense of shame on Matt's channel.
Matt, the fact that they complain that all of your sources come from creationist websites is hilarious, as all of their sources come from evolutionist sites and papers. How you hold your cool with some of these guys is amazing.
Oh, I see what you're saying here. So, if 2 sources say opposing information, both of those hold equal value. The fact that one is Bronze Age religious propaganda and the other is peer-reviewed, thoroughly researched science, it just doesn't matter.
Genesis 1:1 makes more sense than any atheistic nonsense out there.
Learning science takes time and effort, whereas bearded guy magics things into existence is an easy-to-understand concept. It takes a moron though to think that something is more likely to be true if it's easier to understand.
Raging atheist? Isn't that literally every single one of them?
Prejudging members of a huge population of people whose only commonality is a lack of belief in deities? I think we have a word for that. Oh yeah, you're a bigot.
Good at it, Matt Powell team.
In a sense that it accomplishes its goal of being a propaganda piece. Yeah, not much of a compliment though.
Atheism requires being in a total state of denial that starts with not wanting to live without sin.
That's a strong assessment. Citation needed.
What is his charisma? No, it is his demeanor. No, it is his way of speaking. Nope, all wrong. It is the use of logic and truth that you cannot beat. Of course, through the Holy Spirit.
No, it's dishonest propaganda and Matt thrives on lying. And you shouldn't believe what he says just because he's confident.
Daydreamers.
No, Matt is more of a waking nightmare.
A very, very smart idiot. I've been called verse.
And based on where you're commenting, probably a lot. Have you ever stopped to think, maybe they're not just trying to insult you?
Star. Truth, no one puts God in the corner.
Yeah, based on the mythology, he belongs in prison.
This one guy can't get past the simple figure of speech. The idea that conceive means to bring forth.
It's not a figure of speech, it's an intentional manipulation tactic to make the material in question look foolish. Even if he used better wording, he would still be lying about that article.
According to the Evos, rocks used to be smart and had magical powers.
Nobody thinks that, and it's very stupid of you to think that they would.
Blah blah blah. Evolutionists are always on the defense and live their lives waiting for a creationist and someone who believes in the Bible and wasting their precious time to avail, defending the evolution. God bless you, Matt Powell, with sword-catching hands and love.
When people make stupid statements publicly, other people will come along and correct them. If you were to make a video and post it on YouTube that says shaving cream and whipped cream can be used interchangeably, people would react by saying that no, don't eat shaving cream. Same thing with creationism.
Yeah, absolutely. Sunglasses face.
No, it's dishonest propaganda and Matt thrives on lying. And you shouldn't believe what he says just because he's confident.
Excellent.
No, it's dishonest propaganda and Matt thrives on lying. And you shouldn't believe what he says just because he's confident.
The third guy reminds me of the saying, when someone who is honestly mistaken is confronted with the truth, they are either no longer mistaken or no longer honest. Matt showed him proof that he wasn't making things up, and the guy is so dishonest that he couldn't admit that he was wrong. It was hard to watch Matt trying to educate a moron about a theory that's been proven false. How does a rock conceive? It can't. Only God can create life from non-life. End of discussion.
No. Matt lied about an article. The lie was so stupid that the guy called it out without actually reading the article. And then Matt doubled down on the lie and pointed to the article. Look at that, the article exists. The guy hadn't seen the article before, so he was a little hesitant in his answer. Doesn't mean Matt wasn't lying.
Great job, brother Matt, and other excellent video posting now.
No, it's dishonest propaganda and Matt thrives on lying. And you shouldn't believe what he says just because he's confident.
A clear Bible presentation at the end is just the frosting on the cake.
Like a tiny turd on top of a vomit-flavored sundae.
4v1 and you still win? Reminds me of Kent Hovind's now legendary live debate, which left 4 professors stunned.
As long as you calling yourself the winner actually being the winner, sure. But you do have a point. Matt reminds me of Kent Hovind as well. Both of them are scientifically illiterate propagandists.
Absolute showdown!
No, it's dishonest propaganda and Matt thrives on lying. And you shouldn't believe what he says just because he's confident.
Christianity is true.
Please point out exactly which of the 40,000 different versions with teachings contradicting each other is true, why that's the one, and I'll take the time to show you that it's not.
Atheism is false.
Atheism makes no claims, so saying it's false is nonsensical.
For someone who doesn't believe in absolutes, he says absolutely a lot.
Yeah, judge a person based on a few out-of-context quote snippets. Very reasonable.
Truth beats evolution fairy tales every time.
Just because people keep calling your mythology fairy tales doesn't mean that you calling science fairy tales makes sense.
Keep up the good work, brother Matt.
No, it's dishonest propaganda and Matt thrives on lying. And you shouldn't believe what he says just because he's confident.
Blessings.
That doesn't work. In 3.5, blessings don't stack, it's all morale bonuses. And in 5th edition, it requires concentration, so if you cast the second one, the first one ends immediately.
Powell is spot on with all of these points. I used to be a fan of some of these atheist YouTubers before I got saved after watching these videos.
You make this comment under a lot of Matt's videos, and it's the saddest part of them all. I can't emphasize how tragic and disillusioning about humanity this comment is.
I like how the first doofus differentiated himself from Stephen Hawking when he said Stephen was a thinker. Glad he was able to be humble enough to admit his inability to be a thinker. Lol.
Yeah, right. Same as if somebody called Mike Tyson a puncher, it would mean that they can't even make a fist. Or if somebody called Matt Powell a liar, they couldn't even formulate a dishonest thought, let alone verbalize it.
Incredible work.
No, it's dishonest propaganda and Matt thrives on lying. And you shouldn't believe what he says just because he's confident.